It's so good.
So Tamara, tell us a little bit about yourself, and I mean, eventually we'd love to, how did you get into powerlifting? But before we get into that part, tell us about yourself.
All right. Well, I am a mom. Everybody probably knows that by now. 37 years old. I'm a property manager by day, mom 24/7, and a powerlifter by night. I say powerlifter by night because that's where I fit in my training. I train some nights until like midnight.
Wow.
So I gotta get it in where I can fit it in. I've only been in powerlifting since 2017. I walked into a gym and started weightlifting, and then I signed up for my first powerlifting meet in 2018. So I'm new to this, but I made it here. I pulled a world record, so here I am talking to you.
Awesome. Exactly.
Yeah.
Tamara, my kids are growing up now. We're all a little bit older, at least teenagers. But when I first started powerlifting, that was when I would powerlift too. Was in the evenings. So the kids would go to bed. We get the wife and I get the kids to bed about 7 o'clock, and I'd hit the gym maybe 8 o'clock. And back then I was doing Russian style programs, Shake programs, but so they would last 2 or 3 hours. So I can definitely sympathize with you. But of course, I'd be drinking bloody energy drinks too. And so even though I'd get home 10:30 and I'd still be buzzing.
Exactly. I'm kind of on the same exact schedule, because some nights I'm training, I get there at 8 o'clock after I put them to bed. So I'm probably not out of the gym, and I have to drink a bang by the time I get to the gym. So I'm doing the same exact thing you did. So you can feel me. You relate.
I can feel you, all right. I can feel you. I tell you what, you wake up the next morning, you'd have a crap sleep, but you'd be sore. So you'd be like, well, I guess it was worth it.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't die. I woke up, so I'm good.
Exactly.
On to the next one.
Tamara, what got you into the gym? Oh, sorry, Jackson, you go ahead, mate.
Yeah, no, I was going to say the same thing. So I've seen quite a bit of your stuff on Instagram and stuff. You're blowing up on there, Tamara, but I've seen quite a bit of your story, and I enjoy it because it's how I coach people as well. You got into the gym initially on a weight loss journey and then found strength training.
Yep, exactly. So when I first started, it was dumbbell training. And I think it was essential or it actually helped me out in powerlifting because I was using a lot of dumbbells. So my left hand was just as strong as my right hand. I started with dumbbells, you know what I mean? It helped me with form. I did a lot of the movements already, so it was easy for me to kind of walk into laying on a bench and doing a bench press, or not being so unfamiliar with the surroundings, because doing dumbbell training in a small fitness area versus walking into a powerlifting arena, I could have been intimidated because a lot of people were screaming. There was chalk everywhere. There was powder everywhere. And I'm from the Virgin Islands, so I didn't know what powerlifting was until 2018. And I'm like, what are these people doing? But it looks like they're having fun. So I want to do it too. Yeah.
So slapping each other, smelling stuff and crying.
Oh my God, screaming and grunting. But I wanted in on that because living in a 415-pound body, I felt like I was trapped for a very long time. So to be able to just go in a gym, do what I want, don't care who's looking because everybody's doing the same thing, it felt liberating for me. Yeah.
100%.
Is that what, Tamara, was the powerlifting gym your first gym that you looked at? Or did you look at some standard commercial gyms before that?
Oh God, yeah. I went to standard commercial gyms first. So I didn't really enjoy it there, but the powerlifters were there. And then eventually a year in, I ended up going to a hardcore powerlifting gym called the Coliseum. And then another gym was built a year after, but then COVID struck. But it had all the equipment you needed for powerlifting. It was catered to powerlifters. So it just got better and better as the years went on. So 2017, dumbbell training, 2018, commercial gym. By the end of 2018, I was in a powerlifting gym, and I've stayed in a powerlifting gym ever since then. Yes.
So you started in the gym at 415 pounds and started just strength training.
That's it. Strength training, and then of course I had to change the way that I ate. So I stopped drinking soda. And I thought I didn't just stop cold turkey. I had to figure out, all right, what can I substitute for soda? We have something called ice here in America. It's like sparkling water. So I still needed like that carbonation kind of feeling. So I just found substitutes for all the bad things that I had and found good substitutes for the things that I crave. So I changed from the inside out too. I changed the way that I eat. Drank a gallon of water a day. That was a hard process too. But it wasn't all just strength training. I had to change the way that I ate to lose the first 100.
100%. 100.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. So you are down, I want to say 50 odd kilos, which is about 100, 110, 120 pounds. Yep.
Right now I'm sitting at 280.
Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, but
that's
the
huge.
lowest that I went down to was 245, but you know, I'm a mom. It happens.
Yeah.
It fluctuates. It is what it is.
Now,
well,
no, go ahead, Jackson.
I was going to say, I mean, the thing with that is though as well that your body composition has to have changed massively. Like you've obviously put on some decent muscle at the same time, so you probably look a lot like entirely different. It's like a whole new rockin' mum body. You're probably the strongest mum at school, I assume.
Now, what I was today, the 280 now that I look like is nothing compared to the 280. When I tell people that I weigh 280 now, they're like, "You're joking." No, you don't. But yes, the muscle that I have on me, the body composition. I actually posted one on Instagram of my 415 to my 280 recently. I was doing some bodybuilder poses, and I was like, "Damn, I can see all the heads to my quads." So totally different than the 280 a couple years ago.
Actually, I did see that. We will put that photo up on the
that one.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep.
Craziness.
Awesome.
We'll put the good quality version of that on the YouTube one, but that's a crazy transformation.
Thank you.
Awesome,
Thank you.
Now, Tamara, the way powerlifters treat body weight is a little bit different, obviously, to the way the general public view and treat body weight. Are you looking at your body weight in a sporting sense now, strategically, and going, you know, I'm quite competitive at X weight, you know, I'm prepared to, you know, settle for, you know, exact example, 280 pounds for now because that's where I'm strongest? Or are there other kind of body goals that you have?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So one thing that I noticed that's different now in powerlifting, I get on the scale every now and again, few and far between. So I don't necessarily look at my weight. I look at how my clothes fits me now, my body composition. I look at the way, another thing too, I haven't told a lot of people is I have scoliosis. So I actually know when I'm headed towards when I'm over 280, I start to have more back pain because of the curvature in my spine. So when I'm under 280, I have literally no back pain. So I don't even need to get on a scale. If I do get on the scale, I know that it's going to read under 280 because I have no back pain. So I definitely look at the way that my clothes fit and the way that I function. My numbers are still going up. So right now I'm happy sitting at 280. My next meet, I'm going to be at about 275. But that's just because I want to look a little leaner on the platform.
No, fair enough too. Now you entered the powerlifting competitive scene, Tamara, with the USAPL, and you stuck with them for a couple of years. But I see in recent years you've moved from went to the IPL, the USPA, and then WRPF. Was there any reason for the movement between all three feds there, or you just going where the competition is?
I changed from the USAPL changed to the USPA. That change happened because my coach, he was the one kind of looking for meets for me. One thing that did shift me a little bit away, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be honest and transparent on this call, is the USA, and it has nothing to do with USAPL, but 2019 Nationals USAPL, one of the things that was a little disappointing for me and kind of almost made me walk away from powerlifting is the live stream that year. There were so many negative comments. And again, it's not USAPL that are leaving the comments, the people looking, talking about why so many Black girls, you know what I mean? And there wasn't a lot of us in the sports, but there was a lot of that on the live stream. So the next time I looked for a meet, I was like, let me just try another federation. And my coach and I agreed that we would just try another one. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that. Did you know that, Jackson?
No, that's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
people bring like some people always have to have something negative to say though. That's
Yeah.
like a big issue across the board, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
It was my first national meet. I mean, it is what it is. I still stuck with powerlifting, still move forward. But I'm glad there's so many more of us now on the platform.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean,
are you seeing? Do you get a lot of support through social media, Tamara, or is it a mixed bag?
I get a lot more support on social media, like on my IG platform, tons of support. On my Facebook platform, which is like for my family from back home in the island so they can see what's going on, tons of support. TikTok is crazy. TikTok is hit or miss. So I'm actually new to TikTok. I have 30K followers on TikTok, and I only started my TikTok in September. I only started in this September when I hit the world record. At first, everyone was like, oh my God, she's a man. If she's pulling 636 pounds, she's a man. It's funny because my daughter came home from high school. This is her first year in high school. And she was like, Mom, I guess you didn't give birth to me because you're a man. And we busted out laughing.
You know, it's all the men. It's all the men that can't do that weight. And they say, well, yeah, you must be a man because, yeah, there's no way a woman can beat me.
TikTok is like for all the Gen Zers, and they're probably on there like, yeah, she's outlifting me, so I'm gonna bro her right now. But I mean, at the end of the day, I get more love than I get hate.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like TikTok is like we're too old for TikTok, Greg. We're out of the loop.
I don't know. Tamara's older than you, mate. You just turned 29. I think you can still get on the bandwagon, eh?
Yeah,
I can't understand. I can't understand TikTok for the life of me. I can't.
You must be an old soul then.
It's an old soul.
Yeah. I mean, even Instagram's like pushing it for me, to be honest. I'm like, what do I fucking take a picture of now? Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
Now, Tamara, you've done in 2021, you've done two of the biggest meets in the world with the WRPF. You've done the Kern US Open and the Bucked Up Showdown. How did those go?
Massive.
They went good. I came in first at the in my weight class. I got first at the Kern, which was absolutely amazing. I love that meet because I got to meet a lot of the lifters that I've been looking up to for such a long time. I got to share a platform with Heather. I got to meet Karina there. I shared a platform with Sarah. So that was absolutely amazing. My girlfriend Shireen was there, shared a platform with her. So I just enjoyed it. The Bucket Up Showdown was, I think, even more icing on the cake for me because I met a lot of people that I knew before I was powerlifting. I saw JP there again. He was the one who kind of ran the showdown. And he met me back at the Arnold's in 2017, 2018, before I even was a powerlifter. Because I tried, you know how at the Arnold's, they let you do like the bench press in the cage and stuff. You can do you can just walk off and do a bench press. And I think there I was able to do 135 pounds for a double or something. And I thought I was strongman. So he remembered from the showdown and he was the one announcing when I pulled my deadlift. So it's it almost came full circle. So it felt really good.
Nice.
It's hectic. So obviously for anyone listening, we keep talking about Tamara's deadlift. So she has pulled
let's get some numbers out there. Let's get some numbers up.
Yeah, this is for the nerds out there, e.g. me. Tamara has pulled the biggest deadlift ever by a female in the world. 288.5 kilos, which is 636 pounds.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, that's just mind-boggling.
Conventional?
It was conventional as well. Conventional
with a badass too.
Oh, it's legit.
And the nails.
There's no arguing it. No one can argue it.
No, exactly. So that is I'm just looking at the numbers tomorrow. I'll go back to kilos because this pounds just throws me off. You came on board with the USFPL 2018. You're deadlifting 180. You put 100 kilos on your deadlift in looks like 3 years. That is incredible.
Thank you. Thank you.
Which, what, 220 pounds. So what do you put it down to? They've just gone from strength to strength, and the numbers are jumping up every single year, sometimes twice in the same year. I mean, even from the Kern, you put another 12 kilos on, so 16 kilos, 30 odd 40 pounds in the space of a few months. What's the secret?
You know what? I really lucked up. I think one of the things is during the pandemic, I really lucked up because my training never stopped. My coach's dad actually works in the industry behind the scene of like it's not like the CDC, but I think they kind of had a tip of what was going to go down. So he actually bought all the equipment prior to the world shutting down, and I was able still continued training in his dad's basement, who actually came to watch me at the showdown. He's 80 years old and he flew to Kansas City because he was like, someone trained in my basement. I gotta see this world record happen. So I would chuck it up to one of the things I'd never stop training. Another thing at USAPL Nationals, I failed a 496 deadlift, and I never wanted to feel that again. Deadlift was my thing. Like, well, not was my thing. Obviously, it is my thing.
It still is, yeah.
Squats did not come natural to me. Benching did not come natural to me. It took me forever to hit 225. Forever. And one of the things that I realized, I would skim on my accessories. So to all the athletes out there, if you don't do your accessories, tell your coach you're not doing your accessories. Don't be like, yeah, I'll do them when I get home, or yeah, I'll try to do something else. Or so one of the things that I decided for the Kern and for the showdown is I had to spend that extra 30 minutes to an hour in the gym to complete my accessories and do them. If I didn't get to do them that night, I would come back the next day, or I would go in the gym to at the leasing office where I work to actually do my accessories. So I just did not want to feel that again. So I think that's one thing. I stopped slacking on my training program, and I actually did all my accessories. I did exactly what he told me to do.
What were they? What were they, Tamara? What were the accessories?
Greg wants all the secrets.
We're making notes here. Taking notes.
Greg's writing.
There's 100 people listening right now.
That I would say, oh my God. So one of the things that I would say that definitely helped my bench, because that's what I struggled with, deadlifts were easy for me. And to be honest, I'll tell you guys, I was supposed to hit 650, but we'll go back to that. But let me finish with accessories. So yeah, we'll get back to that. I'll tell you what happened. But so for accessories for bench, one thing that I don't like to do is bent over rows. I had to start incorporating bent over rows. I had to start incorporating pendlay rows. I never trained my back. I hated training my back. You'll even see on that picture that when you look at my body comp, you see how my lower body is like stacked and my upper body is like, because I love training legs. So I love doing RDLs. I love doing Russian split squats. So when it came to leg day, I loved those things. And then when it came to upper body days, didn't really want to do any sit-ups, didn't really want planks, didn't really want, I was never doing my planks. I would tell them that I'm doing my planks, but I would never. So I had to stop lying to my coach, and he kind of knew.
Yeah,
coaches know.
I was gonna say, yeah, the amount of times I have heard from clients, yeah, I've done my core work for the week. I'm like, yeah, okay, no, you haven't. I definitely have.
They're lying. So that's one thing that I rededicated myself for the Kern and the showdown. If I didn't do it, I told him so then he can reprogram me to make sure that I stay on track.
Program extra for next time.
Exactly. Yeah. I think everybody knows, because I think I told it in a couple, Good Morning America, I told it to them and Ellen and stuff, but I did a lot of crying for the Kern and the showdown because I had to give everything that I got. Like I would literally be in my car driving home having like muscle spasms because I had such an arm pump, but I had to get it done because I know you know what I mean? I did not want to feel failing a 496 deadlift ever again.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like just for the people at home, I mean, I feel like your squat and your bench get overlooked a wee bit because your deadlift's so good. But I mean, you squatted 265 kilos, which is 585 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And benched 165, which my maths isn't that good on that, but it's like 370,
363.7,
363 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just almost a 1,600 pound total. So it's a 718.5 kilos. That's the 5th highest total ever by a female.
I know, and I'm going for that number 1 spot.
Nice.
Very nice. I
Beautiful.
was gonna ask. I was gonna. don't tell. If you don't tell, we won't tell.
So Tamara, I'm just looking at that third attempt on your at the Bucked Up Showdown. You jumped from 584 to 622. You were confident about the 622, or was it just let's just give it a go?
So let me tell y'all what happened.
Here we go. The story.
There we go.
So I would still say that I'm new to lifting, because just coming in 2018, I'm new to lifting. So I did not wait for the down command on my opener. So I pulled 584 like it was the bar, and I did not wait for the down command. I put it down and I was like, oops. So my coach
happens to us all.
What'd you say?
That's happened to us all. It's happened to everybody at least once, you know?
Oh my God.
Only once,
happened before, though. I was so mad at myself. So in talking, I was like, Coach, I just want to go ahead and pull my next number. Let's just pull the 636. He's like, I need you to make the board, Tamara. It's okay. You're still going to have the world record. We're going for extra. So I had to pull 584 again. So that's what my first attempt was, 584. And because I didn't wait for the down command, I had to pull 584 again. So that's why I ended at 636. Or I would have ended at 650. Yeah. So
you've got 650 in you.
I do. I definitely got 650 in me.
Nice. And on your squat, you went from 584 to 622. That's a very similar jump to the deadlift as well, eh? So you typically go in quite big jumps between attempts. This is your coach's philosophy.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think I adapted that way. So in having a shorter time frame of training, I jump plate by plate. I don't do 25-pound plates anymore, or I jump 45-pound plates. So that's how I train. So I train with 100-pound jumps, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I the same way I train in the gym is how I jump on the platform, pretty much.
Nice. We've heard that so many times, Jackson, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Your opener's your last warm up, basically.
Exactly.
And then you take your jump, and then you play with the third. That's the It's always a funny one when you go to meets and you see people and they like grind out their first one, and then they jump like 5 kilos or like 10 pounds, and you're like, oh, you've stuffed that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. But one thing that happened with my squat, so I did hit 620 in the gym. However, oh my gosh, they were not playing. When it's a world record, they don't play with you. They do not play. They were laying on the floor. Okay. So
to check the depth.
I was so nervous. I was like, I have to go lower than I normally go. So I went lower than I normally go, and I could not get out of the hole. Yeah. So it is what it is. Next time, I'm training to pretty much pick a penny up off the floor at this point.
Yeah, when those refs are looking at records, they are. Yeah, they're getting into any position they need to get into to see that result, because the last thing you want, and it's good for you too, Tamara, because the last thing you want is any doubt. Of course. From them and everybody watching on social media, because they'll be quick to pick up on any kind of borderline calls.
Oh yeah, I don't want none of that. So that was fine with me.
We don't want any of that. Yeah. So, Tamara, you mentioned just briefly before Good Morning America and Alan. Those are two names that aren't typically associated with powerlifting. Powerlifters don't typically get into mainstream media. What happened? Tell us all about it.
Listen, I will gladly be Miss Mainstream for the powerlifting community, because like I said all the time, powerlifting has saved my life, okay? The sport definitely saved me from myself, but it started off with Fox 45 News, so I'll tell you kind of like the mainstream roadmap. Started off with Fox 45. Apparently Fox 45 News puts it in an online folder for other cities to pick up. So DC is the one that did my story, but the LA folder picked it up. The Houston folder picked it up. The New York folder picked it up, and they played it in all their cities and on Monday morning. And then what happened, that's how Ellen saw me. So Ellen saw me because they saw me on Fox 45 in LA.
Wow.
The producer reached out to me, flew me out to LA. I had to keep the secret that I was going to be deadlifting on the show. That was absolutely amazing. It was a little stressful leading up to it though, because I just came from the showdown. I didn't get a chance to deload. So I had to go right back into a peak because they wanted me to deadlift on the show. And talking to the production crew for Ellen, it's like brain surgery. Like talking powerlifting was like talking like brain surgery. They had no clue what I was saying. I need a platform, or I need a Texas bar. They're like, Texas bar? What do you mean? Like, and they were sending me like pictures of commercial like type equipment. So Texas bar actually had to, they contacted them directly, and they sent the bar and they sent some other equipment. They told them what kind of plates to ship to the show. They were trying to give me bumper plates. So things like that. It was like I had to give them the exact information that they needed, but they pulled it together. I was able to deadlift. I shook Ellen's hand. T-Rex tape gave me $15,000.
Wow.
It was just remarkable.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was remarkable. And then when I came back, Good Morning America reached out to me. I did a photo shoot with Sports Illustrated. The Insider magazine just recently reached out to me as well. So I'm gonna have a write-up in there. But and Sports Illustrated, ESPN Women picked me up as well, and Sports Center. So I think that's what kind of set off the viral, made me viral. Sports Center picked me up.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I would love to know how many people out there are now, looking at powerlifting as a legitimate sport now, or something for them, just as a result of seeing you. Because usually powerlifting is something you fall into because people in the gym are either doing it or you hear about it through friends and family, but it's never really hit the mainstream news before. So I'd love to know how many people now are looking at powerlifting because of you.
Yeah, I agree. Like brothers and daughters and sisters and brothers, they probably didn't even, because I think they related to Olympic weightlifting.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the confusion that I had when I was trying to get everything ready with the production crew for Ellen, they compared it to Olympic weightlifting.
Yeah, they would. Yeah. Of course.
Well,
yeah.
that has to be easily the biggest audience that a deadlift has ever been done in front of.
Yeah.
Probably even bigger than Thor's.
Ever.
Yeah, easily, ever. And I mean, the amount of, and like you say, but to get the production crew to even know how to like set up for a deadlift, which is like arguably the simplest movement in the gym, it just shows how like obscure powerlifting actually is to the general population. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and one thing that a lot of people don't know, one of the friend that was there with me, my coach couldn't make it, so someone in LA, his name's David, came with me to the show. He was worried when we got there because he's like, T, they got you warming up at 9 a.m. You're not talking to Ellen until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Like,
wow.
Whoa, like, I'm worried. So from a powerlifting standpoint. So they gave me a 9 a.m. warm-up. Then I had to come back down and they let me do another 11 a.m. warm-up, and I warmed up to 495 the first time. The second time at 11 o'clock, I warmed up to 585. Then they did a mic check, went back to my room. I was cold until 2 o'clock. They called me at 2 and said, Ellen's ready for you. Walked out on the stage, talked to Ellen. Finished talking to Ellen, doing my interview. I walked over to the bar, fully loaded with 495, pulled it like it was stupid, moved so fast, but I think it was the adrenaline one. And I was not missing a deadlift on the biggest live stream powerlifting event in the world.
Can you imagine?
That moved so well. I told him to go ahead and throw on the other plate, pulled 585 stupid. So I did it. But if you saw the behind the scenes, David kept saying, "Yo, T, are you sure you good? You good?" And I'm like, "I'm good. I got this." One thing my coach says, he's like, "T, my coach, Dan. So I'm with Fox Strength, but my coach is like, you're a game day lifter. He's like, you are always ready on game day." So I had him in my ear. I had David in the other ear. I know I was going to do it. So it was done.
Beautiful, beautiful. And the reaction from the audience was amazing.
Oh yeah, amazing, amazing. I think when I first walked over, because again, there was no space in between talking to Ellen and walking over to the bar, no space, whatever. They actually cut it to do the edit, so you didn't see me like take my jacket off and throw it into the crowd. You miss all of that. I put on the show. Get up and start clapping. So it was definitely, the room was, you can feel the electricity running through the room. Yeah,
that's awesome. We're really proud of you for so many reasons. But you've helped our sport get into some mainstream media as well. So would love. I mean, it's going to be great to see what happens with powerlifting in the year ahead. Now that you've been on the show.
Yeah,
I agree. Can't wait.
I feel like you, and I mean, this has been going on for probably even since before you came into Powerlifting, Tamara. But we always say about it, the female powerlifting scene has just fucking exploded over the last, I want to say 5 years. And so I think you're a prime example of a female who has come into the sport as part of that wave. And so now you're doing your bit to like push the wave on, which is arguably the biggest push that anyone's actually ever done on it.
Yeah.
But obviously what do you think about female powerlifting the next year, 3 years? I saw that WRPF is now bringing in 4 or 5 new weight classes for females, instead of just 90 plus. So what is that for pounds? 198.
Yeah.
And over. They're bringing in how many new classes? 4.
So I think it's 4 new classes. So I was one of them that signed the petition with the main event to bring in all the additional weight classes, because I agree. And the reason why, as women, we already struggle more than men, I would think, when it comes to having to cut to make weight. And one bump all of us who are at so many different weight levels into one class. So I'm for it. I agree. If the men have all these weight classes, I agree women should have all the similar weight classes as well.
Yeah, I believe they've made the weight classes the same for male and female. Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is 100%. I definitely agree. I saw some pretty crazy numbers in terms of like how many women were competing in the 90 in the open class and the 90 plus class comparative to the male like open class, if you know what I mean. And that lumped like whatever it was, just some crazy amount of lifters
or women.
And 100%. And there was enough women in that open class to service 5 weight classes.
Exactly.
So why not do it?
That's why we're here. Because at the end of the day, like, I get what everyone's saying. Like, when you go to a meet, you may not have someone you're lifting with that's in your weight class at that meet, but we're all hitting the same board. We're all hitting the same board at the end of the day when it comes to open powerlifting. So why not? That's how I look at it.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is that, like, especially for like federation competitions, like, there's a reason, like, at like say a local level and stuff, you want to reduce the barriers to entry. You don't want, like, say a lady that weighs 220 pounds, 100 kilos. You don't want her to be like, oh, well, I don't want to go and lift against someone who is 400 pounds, whatever. You want her to be like, oh, actually, yeah, I'm quite happy lifting at 100 kilos. It's my own weight class. It's good. I'm only lifting against people that are 90 to 100 kilos.
I agree.
So they're going to be, they feel much more included.
You know what? Another thing too, I've seen it just looking at from the other perspective. In this sport, a lot of people end up with injuries when they're trying to outlift or look or see what this person's lifting. So one thing that I've always my coach always laughs at me. He's like, you never know who you're competing against, huh? Because I didn't even know. I knew like at the tail end who I was taking the world record from on my deadlift, but I always look at it as me versus me. So the numbers that I go to hit, it's not like program numbers to beat anyone specifically. It's numbers that I set based on my last numbers, because I'm typically, all I'm going there to do is me versus me. I'm going there to outdo my own numbers. But you're absolutely correct. There has been times even where at the Kern, we should have had, I think, 6 super heavyweight lifters, and I think it ended up only being 4 because a couple people backed out. For whatever reason, it could have been a weight class issue. I don't know. But I'm just happy that we're in line with what the men are doing now.
Yeah.
I see Tamara. Kirsten is hot on your heels, isn't she?
She is, but that's my girl though, so it's okay.
It's okay.
I'm good with healthy
It's
competition.
So that was a stacked class in the 90 plus in the Open. So you had Kirsten, Karina, and Tanaya as well. So you all did really, really well. But I see what you mean about the weight classes though, because there's a definite spread in the weight classes. Do you think? What weight class would you fall into now, Tamara, based on the new structure? Jackson, I don't know what the new structure is for the weight class.
Well, it's going to be exactly the same as the guys. So there'll be a 125 class. A 275 class must be the next one for Tamara.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, but would that potentially see you out on your own there for Tamara for a while, or are there other competitors in the sort of similar sort of weight class that you would look?
So the other person similar, I think, in that weight class would be Karina.
Yeah.
And then there's other people. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So what's next? What are the plans now?
So I'm in full prep right now for my next competition. So I'll be in Miami, Florida on February 13th. I'm going to be competing at the Ghost Clash.
Nice.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Nice. That's going to be a big meet. That's a big meet.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one.
And
super excited.
And plans for the brand. Tell us about your brand as well.
Okay, so yep, I've always had the plus size fitness King and Queen brand. It actually was birthed when I was going through my weight loss journey, and then I started powerlifting, and that's where the whole logo kind of came into play. But I'll post it too, but that's kind of what it looks like for the Queen version. But it's relaunching the end of this month, so I'm super excited about that. The new website kind of tells the story of where I started, where I am today, where I'm looking towards going. So there's going to be a lot of fun things on there. So yeah, that's coming the end of this month.
Nice. If you would look back 5 years, Tamara, would you have thought that you would be where you are now?
Not at all. Nope. I would have laughed if someone would have said you would be holding the #1 spot for the heaviest women's deadlift in the world. I would laugh. I'd be like, no.
Friends and family being supportive as well, or what is this weightlifting business you're in?
Oh my God. So my kids are super excited. It's funny because 2 weeks after breaking the world record, my daughter overheard her gym coach saying, "Oh my God, kids, I want to show you," in another class next door to her, "I want to show you guys this woman that just broke the world record." So she goes over and she's like, "Can I see?" And he pulls up the video of me, and she's like, "That's my mom." And he's like, "No, it's not." That's my mom.
That is fantastic.
So the kids are loving it. My son, school actually, because they saw me on Ellen, so they played it for him in school, and he said it made him feel very proud. He's already been telling all the kids since he was little, "My mom's stronger than your dad." I was like,
and he's right.
We were at lunch in school, and he said that. I was like, "Don't say that." But I think who's really seen my mom. So my mom said to me after breaking the world record, I don't think it hit her, because she would call me sometimes. I would be in the gym, and she's like, "I hear the weights in the background. I'll call you later." And like legitimately. But after I broke the record and she started to see things kind of come to fruition, and I think she realized then just how passionate, because she was able to hear my story through other people's eyes. She was running around toting the video of me breaking the world record. And she said to me, she's like, Tammy, I finally get it. I get all those additional hours. I get you saying I have to do this. Like, lifting is a part of my DNA. When I say powerlifting saved my life, it saved me from a food addiction. So it's either, do you want me to stay home and continue to gain weight? I was 2 cheeseburgers away from my 600-pound life. You know what I'm saying? So powerlifting really saved me. I was able to remove that addiction and fall in love with powerlifting. So she's like, I get it. So that really, it struck home for me when my mom finally said, I got it.
That's
I get
awesome.
it. Yeah.
I mean, you get a lot of stories like that with powerlifting that it helps with. I mean, most of them aren't like, say, a food addiction. Most people would laugh that off and just say eat less. They don't believe it's a real thing. You know what I mean? But they will say like, oh, it helped me. Like I was an alcoholic or I was a drug addict or whatever. But like these days, a food addiction is a real thing. Like you say, like it's hard to give up. And so you feel like it helped you. You shifted sort of your energy from that into powerlifting and gave you more control over things, or
that I started doing when I started lifting, when I would be hungry at night, or because I would not. Here's how my food addiction worked. I'd wake up in the morning, feed my kids, go to work, sit down at a 9 to 5 all day, not eat because I'm dealing with a resident or I'm dealing with this. Then I would come home, fix my kids something to eat, help them with their homework, and then at night, food was my friend. It was time where I starved myself all day and then I binge eat at night. So how it shifted my mindset was I still had those nights by myself. You know what I mean? I still had those nights by myself. Although I was eating healthier throughout the day, I still had those moments where I'm like, dang, I want to binge eat right now. So what I would start doing is get on the floor and do push-ups. Get on the floor and do sit-ups. I would literally go outside and lock my door and walk around the parking lot. So anytime another things that I did was I would get a huge cup of water, and anytime I had those cravings, I would give my body something different. I would drink a whole bunch of water. So that's what I started doing. And it slowly got easier and easier and easier. Yeah.
You created new habits. Yeah.
Create new habits. Yeah.
What's your Tamara, what's your training schedule like? And what sort of split do you do?
So I train Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I train Saturdays. I didn't get to train yesterday and I didn't get to train today. So I'm going to train Sunday and then I'll have to double up on Tuesday. So pretty much how it works with being a mom. Unfortunately, I had to, well, not unfortunately, but I had to take my daughter to a sleepover today. Totally threw off my schedule. I have my 9-year-old son here. So I had to adjust. So pretty much all I do is I make sure that I train 4 days a week. It doesn't matter what 4 days it is. I no longer stress myself out. Don't want my cortisol levels to be high. I just make sure I get my 4 days. So it's 4 days, about 4 hours in the gym.
Oh, 4 hours in total or 4 hours per workout?
4 hours in total.
Oh, wow. Okay,
time. Yeah.
Nice. Well, it just goes to show that even with 4 days a week and an hour in the gym, you can still achieve a world record. So I think that's inspirational.
4 hours. 4 hours in the gym. Yeah.
Oh,
4 hours at a time.
Oh, wow. 4 hours at a time. Wow. You're a machine. That's incredible. Yeah. So that's what sort of
the weight got heavier. It got longer in the gym as the weight got heavier because I don't have loaders to put on 500 pounds. Like my next set's going to be 560 for 5. Like who's going to put on that weight and take it off? I spend some time in there doing that.
Yeah, no. It's almost like therapy as well, isn't it? So it's probably like almost like your church. It's your sanctuary. You know, it's where you can unwind.
Like when the world shut down, why were the liquor stores open but the gyms closed? Like I didn't understand that.
So we had the same over here.
The world. Yeah.
So being obviously a busy mom, busy with work, you've still got a full-time job, etc. How do you make the food side of things work these days? Because I know that's like obviously the excuse that a lot of people fall back on is that I'm too busy to make like nutrition and training a priority. So how do you make like the nutrition work these days?
So going into the Kern, I actually had a meal prep company. John's Fit Meals was doing my meals.
Nice.
So sure that I actually did meals and extra meals for my kids as well, to ensure that we have on hand. My boyfriend actually is in, like, he trains like a bodybuilder kind of type. He's not a power lifter, but he meal preps every Sunday, so it almost forces me to make sure that I meal prep as well. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, keeping me on track.
Nice. Do you say that to make him feel better about you being stronger than him?
No, he's stronger than me, actually.
Oh, is he? Nice. Fuck. Suppose he has to be. Has to be.
36, not on deadlifts, but he got me on bench though. Got me on bench.
Nice. The bro lift. It's good.
Yes.
Now that's awesome though. I mean, that's one of the things, isn't it? I was watching this video the other day, and I find that I do it as well. I prep like twice a week. I'll cook food, and you just have to have it there. That's the key, I find, for most people.
Having it with you, then I don't get into those moments where I kind of fall back into the realm of not eating at all for like 8 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome, Tamara. So thank you so much for coming on. Any last minute plugs and shameless plugs that you want to give anyone else you want to shout out to as well?
Oh my gosh. Well, other than I owe everything that I have accomplished. My coach always tells me at the end of the day, at this point now, we're like family. So shout out to Daniel Fox for real, because at the end of the day, this man, I call him crying some days, like, I can't do this. And he's like, I got you. It's okay. So we have not only built coach to coach, we've turned into friends. We've turned into family. So at the end of the day, one plug that I do want to put out there, because I've seen a lot of people stay with trainers that don't get them, or coaches that don't get them to where they need to be. You have to have that two-way communication. That coach has to be working for you. And if you really love lifting and you want to grow and you're not growing, it's okay to walk away from your coach. So I'm out to my coach, because he has been a godsend. From the nights where I'm like, oh my God, I don't have anyone to watch my son tonight. And he's like, bring him to the gym, bring him to the basement. It's all right. Like, it's okay. We're going to get through this. And just shout out to all the other people before me. Like, one of the person that I used to actually watch deadlift that I loved and adored, and she kind of made me fall in love with deadlifts. And I think she knows, or she may not know, that she's the one. On Instagram, her name is PowerPrez Morgan. Like, I absolutely adore her. She is a badass. She is the deadlift queen before me. So shout out to her for inspiring me.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. So we'll definitely do shout outs on our in our comments as well for those people you mentioned as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on our podcast, a little humble podcast, Tamara. You brought some great joy to lots of people around the world with that massive deadlift, and we're looking forward to seeing how you go in February.
All right, and I love you, New Zealand. I love you so much, and definitely I'm gonna send you that kindergarten teacher. You guys gotta get her on your show. She's dope.
Yeah, sounds brilliant. We will. Good. Awesome.
Love it.
Cool. All right, Tamara. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time.